Welcome to a world where traditions are sacred, rules are unspoken, and daily life feels like a step back in time. The Amish community, known for its simplicity and devotion, hides an array of surprising and sometimes puzzling customs that remain a mystery to outsiders. Among these secrets lies the unique and often restrictive set of rules that Amish women must follow. These rules are not just guidelines, they are a way of life, deeply rooted in faith and designed to maintain order and humility within their close-knit communities. Now, have you ever wondered what it would be like to live without modern conveniences, to dress in a way that reflects centuries-old traditions, or to navigate life with an entirely different set of expectations? In this video, we'll uncover 13 strange rules that Amish women follow, rules they'd rather you didn't know. From their strict dress codes to their limited education, these customs paint a picture of a world vastly different from our own, yet one that continues to intrigue and fascinate people across the globe. Stay with us as we delve into their world and explore how these rules shape every aspect of their lives, from family dynamics to daily routines. You'll learn about traditions that may seem outdated, but hold profound meaning for those who live by them. You might even discover parallels with other cultures, or uncover lessons about simplicity and faith that could resonate in unexpected ways. This journey will not only shine a light on the hidden lives of Amish women, but will also challenge you to think differently about your own life and the freedoms you enjoy. Make sure to watch until the end, because the final rule might just be the most surprising of all. It's a story filled with contrasts, discipline, and resilience, and one you won't want to miss. So, sit back, relax, and join us as we reveal the secrets of a world that is both mysterious and fascinating. 1. The dress code. More than fashion. In the Amish community, clothing is far more than just a practical necessity. It is a profound reflection of their values and beliefs. The dress code emphasizes simplicity, humility, and unity. Rejecting the fashion trends of the modern world, Amish women are required to wear long, modest dresses made from plain fabrics, avoiding patterns or bright colors. These dresses often include aprons and are secured with straight pins or hooks instead of buttons, which are considered too decorative. The colors allowed are usually subdued, such as black, blue, or gray, symbolizing modesty and detachment from vanity. Even small details like collars and sleeves follow strict guidelines to ensure no unnecessary attention is drawn to the individual. Jewelry is strictly prohibited, as it is seen as a symbol of pride and self-adornment. The uniformity in clothing is not only about faith, but also about equality. By wearing similar garments, Amish women ensure that no one stands out based on wealth or status. This approach fosters a sense of community and shared purpose, reminding them to focus on their spiritual lives rather than worldly possessions. This adherence to tradition also serves as a visible marker of their separation from the outside world, reinforcing their identity as a community dedicated to a higher purpose. 2. Hairstyles and head coverings, a spiritual statement. For Amish women, hairstyles and head coverings are not just about appearance, but serve as a declaration of their faith and humility. Hair is always kept long, but never worn loose. Instead, it is tied up in a neat bun at the back of the head, symbolizing modesty and discipline. Cutting the hair is strictly forbidden, as it is believed to be a gift from God and a reflection of one's commitment to divine principles. Head coverings are an essential part of an Amish woman's attire and are worn at all times in public and often at home as well. The type and color of the covering convey significant meanings. Single women typically wear black caps, while married women wear white ones. These coverings are a nod to biblical teachings, specifically from Corinthians, which emphasize a woman's need to cover her head as a sign of respect and obedience. The simplicity of the head coverings aligns with the broader Amish philosophy of humility and separation from vanity. They are handmade, often passed down from one generation to the next, reinforcing their spiritual and cultural significance. This practice not only ties Amish women to their faith, but also to their heritage, making the head coverings a symbol of continuity and shared values within the community. 3. Limited education, beyond the classroom. Education for Amish women is deliberately limited, reflecting the community's prioritization of practical skills over academic knowledge. Amish children, including girls, typically attend school only until the 8th grade. These schools, often one-room schoolhouses, focus on basic subjects such as reading, writing, and arithmetic, along with lessons in Christian values. Higher education is considered unnecessary and even discouraged, as it is believed to lead to pride and detachment from their simple way of life. Instead, young Amish women are taught essential skills for managing households, raising children, and contributing to the community. Sewing, cooking, gardening, and other practical abilities are emphasized, preparing them for their roles within the family and the wider Amish society. The rejection of formal education beyond a certain point is rooted in the belief that worldly knowledge can distract from spiritual growth. By limiting education, the Amish ensure that their traditions and values remain intact and that their young people are fully integrated into the community's way of life. While this approach may seem restrictive to outsiders, for the Amish, it is a way of preserving their faith and ensuring that each generation is well equipped to carry on their heritage. 4. Marriage. Without modern dating. Marriage in the Amish community is a deeply sacred and carefully guided process. Unlike the modern concept of dating, the Amish follow a traditional courtship system that prioritizes community values and religious faith. Young men and women often meet at church gatherings or social events, where they form connections under the supervision of their families and community elders. Engagements are typically kept private until a few weeks before the wedding, which is always held on a weekday. Weddings are simple yet deeply meaningful ceremonies conducted at the bride's family home. There are no elaborate decorations or extravagant celebrations, as the focus remains on the spiritual significance of the union rather than material displays. Once married, Amish women are expected to dedicate themselves fully to their families. Divorce is not an option, as marriage is viewed as a lifelong commitment ordained by God. This unwavering commitment underscores the community's belief in the sanctity of marriage and the importance of family as the foundation of their way of life. The absence of modern dating practices reflects the Amish emphasis on modesty and the avoidance of unnecessary emotional entanglements. By placing spiritual and communal values at the center of relationships, the Amish preserve their traditions and maintain a strong sense of unity within their community. 5. Strict gender roles. Everyone in their place. In the Amish way of life, gender roles are clearly defined and strictly adhered to, reflecting their interpretation of biblical teachings. Men are seen as the head of the household, responsible for providing for the family through farming, carpentry, or other trades. Women, on the other hand, are primarily tasked with managing the home, raising children, and supporting their husbands. From a young age, Amish girls are taught skills that prepare them for their future roles as wives and mothers. They learn cooking, cleaning, sewing, and childcare through hands-on experience, often guided by their mothers and older women in the community. These roles are seen not as limitations, but as divinely assigned duties that contribute to the stability and harmony of Amish life. While the division of labor may seem rigid, it is deeply ingrained in the Amish worldview, which values order and balance. By adhering to these roles, the community ensures that every member has a clear purpose and contributes to the collective well-being. For the Amish, these distinctions are not about inequality, but about fulfilling God's plan for their lives. 6. Prohibition of technology. No phones, no internet. In the Amish community, technology is seen as a potential threat to their way of life, a doorway to worldly temptations that could disrupt their values and traditions. As a result, the use of modern devices like smartphones, televisions, and the internet is strictly prohibited. This ban ensures that members remain focused on their faith, families, and communities, avoiding distractions that could lead to individualism or materialism. While some may view this as a limitation, for the Amish, it is a way to preserve simplicity and avoid the complications that often come with modern technology. Communication, for example, relies on face-to-face interaction or letters, fostering deeper personal connections. Even electricity is avoided in most cases, as it symbolizes dependence on external systems. Interestingly, some Amish communities make exceptions for specific technologies that can support their work, such as gas-powered tools or shared telephones located outside the home. These exceptions are carefully regulated and used only when necessary, emphasizing the principle of moderation. By rejecting modern technology, the Amish maintain a strong sense of identity and community. This separation from the digital age allows them to focus on spiritual growth and live according to the values that have guided their people for generations. 7. Sexuality is taboo, a subject never discussed. In Amish culture, sexuality is considered a deeply private matter that is rarely, if ever, openly discussed. This taboo stems from their commitment to modesty and purity, as well as their belief that such topics should remain within the boundaries of marriage. Young women often enter marriage with little to no understanding of sexual relationships, as discussions about the subject are avoided even within families. Sex education, as it is known in the modern world, does not exist in Amish communities. Instead, young people learn about these matters indirectly through religious teachings and later within their marriages. This lack of information can sometimes lead to confusion or misunderstanding, especially for young women preparing for married life. The taboo around sexuality reinforces the Amish commitment to maintaining a life free from what they view as unnecessary distractions or worldly influences. However, this approach can also result in challenges, as it leaves little room for open dialogue or addressing issues related to relationships and personal well-being. 8. Silence in decision-making. Men take the lead. In the Amish way of life, decision-making is primarily the responsibility of men, reflecting a patriarchal structure rooted in their religious beliefs. Men are considered the heads of households and community leaders, while women are expected to support their husbands and focus on domestic responsibilities. This division of roles means that women have little to no input in significant decisions, whether at home or within the broader community. Choices related to finances, property, and even family matters are often made solely by the men. From an early age, Amish girls are taught to respect this structure, viewing it as a divinely ordained order that promotes harmony and stability. Despite this silence in decision-making, women play a crucial role in maintaining the household and raising children. Their contributions are deeply valued within the community, even if their voices are not heard in leadership discussions. Some women may influence decisions indirectly by offering advice to their husbands in private, but their role remains secondary. This system, while effective in maintaining order within the Amish lifestyle, can be seen as restrictive from an external perspective. For the Amish, however, it reflects a belief in fulfilling God's plan, where each individual has a specific role to play in sustaining the community's values and traditions. 9. Modern medicine. Only in extreme cases. The Amish approach to healthcare is deeply intertwined with their values of simplicity and self-reliance. Modern medicine is often avoided unless absolutely necessary, with many opting for traditional remedies and home-based care instead. This perspective is not based on a rejection of medical science, but rather a desire to rely on natural means and minimize interactions with the outside world. For example, childbirth is commonly managed by midwives at home rather than in hospitals, and minor illnesses are treated with herbal remedies passed down through generations. In cases of serious illness or injury, Amish individuals may seek modern medical assistance, but only after careful consideration and usually with the support of the community. The cost of healthcare is another factor. Without health insurance, Amish families pay for medical expenses out of pocket, which encourages them to use hospital services sparingly. The community often comes together to help cover costs when one of its members faces significant medical bills. While this approach may seem risky, it aligns with their principles of living simply and trusting in God's provision. For the Amish, health is not just about physical well-being, but also about maintaining their spiritual and communal integrity. 10. Taboo on makeup and jewelry. Makeup and jewelry are strictly forbidden in Amish culture, as they are seen as unnecessary adornments that promote vanity and distract from inner spiritual beauty. The Amish believe in living a modest and humble life, and this principle extends to their appearance. Women are expected to present themselves in a way that reflects their faith and commitment to simplicity. This prohibition means that Amish women do not wear any form of makeup, including items as simple as lipstick or nail polish. Jewelry, whether decorative or functional, is also not allowed. Wedding rings, often a symbol of marital commitment in other cultures, are absent in Amish marriages, as the focus is placed on the spiritual bond rather than material representations. The rejection of these items is rooted in biblical teachings that emphasize modesty and warn against excessive attention to outward appearances. By avoiding makeup and jewelry, Amish women reinforce their identity as members of a community that values humility over individual expression. While this might seem restrictive to outsiders, for the Amish, it is a way to maintain their cultural and spiritual integrity. It serves as a daily reminder of their commitment to living according to God's will, focusing on what truly matters within their faith and community. 11. No photos, the soul must not be captured. In Amish culture, photography is strictly avoided because it is believed to conflict with their religious values and principles of humility. The Amish interpret the biblical commandment against creating graven images as a prohibition against taking photographs, as these could lead to pride or vanity. They believe that capturing a person's image could also compromise the purity of their soul, turning their focus away from spiritual matters and toward worldly concerns. Photos are seen as unnecessary distractions that glorify individuals instead of fostering community values. This belief is so deeply ingrained that Amish families refrain from keeping even informal or personal photographs. Visitors to Amish communities are often kindly reminded not to take pictures, especially of people, as this would go against their way of life. This rule is not about rejecting modern technology entirely, but rather about maintaining a clear boundary between their spiritual commitment and external influences. By avoiding photographs, the Amish reinforce their identity and preserve a lifestyle that focuses on faith, humility, and the collective well-being of the community. 12. Social exile, the ultimate punishment. In the Amish community, one of the gravest consequences for breaking the rules is social exile, a practice known as shunning. This punishment is reserved for those who defy community standards or leave the Amish way of life. Shunning serves as both a disciplinary measure and a means to protect the unity and purity of the group. When someone is shunned, they are excluded from social interactions, including meals, gatherings, and even daily conversations. Family members are often required to limit or cut off contact with the shunned individual. This isolation is meant to encourage repentance and a return to the community, but it also acts as a warning to others about the consequences of straying from their faith. The impact of shunning can be devastating, both emotionally and spiritually. The Amish place great importance on family and community bonds, and being cut off from these connections can feel like losing a part of one's identity. Despite the severity, shunning is not intended to be permanent. Those who sincerely repent and seek forgiveness are often welcomed back into the fold. While this practice may seem harsh to outsiders, for the Amish, it is a way to maintain order and uphold the values that define their way of life. It reflects their commitment to preserving their faith and traditions, even at great personal cost. 13. A different world. The Amish way of life offers a glimpse into a world that values simplicity, faith, and community over the conveniences and distractions of modern society. Their strict rules and traditions, though often misunderstood, are deeply rooted in their commitment to preserving their unique identity and spiritual heritage. From their modest clothing to their avoidance of technology and shunning practices, the Amish demonstrate a level of discipline and devotion that is rare in today's fast-paced world. While their customs may seem restrictive to outsiders, they serve as a framework that brings stability and purpose to their lives. Each rule, no matter how unusual it may appear, carries profound meaning and reflects their dedication to living a life aligned with their faith. As we've explored these fascinating aspects of Amish culture, it is clear that their way of life challenges us to think about our own priorities. It invites us to reflect on the balance between tradition and progress, individuality and community, and simplicity and abundance. If you enjoyed learning about this unique way of life, make sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. What aspect of Amish culture surprised you the most? Let us know, and stay tuned for more captivating stories and insights.